Thank you, Adnan.
You're welcome. This is the zills, what is called
Uh-huh.
finger symbol.
You know, the sound, it's like penetrates into the deepest part of me.
Well,
Is
when these are perfected, they become hypnotic,
yeah,
take over, and minute by minute, you feel more relaxed, more
yeah.
relaxed, more harmony,
Mm.
and it puts you in the moment.
What exactly is happening from your understanding? How does that sound penetrate so deeply?
Well, to bring you to the moment, it takes you out of the past
Mm.
and it takes you out of the future.
Mm.
And when you are in the moment becomes the state of peace.
Uh-huh.
The spirit live in the moment.
But there's something about bells in particular that just zing, go right in, you know, it's like, and maybe also because you're an expert at them as well.
Well, they very effective. It
Mm.
penetrate the body,
Mm.
the mind, the psychic, the emotion. It go deep in all the organs within the body, and it work like a massage,
Mm.
internal massage. Start working on the
So they actually heal the organs as well.
exactly.
Uh-huh. So you call yourself a Sufi, and what's the connection? Well, what is Sufism, or what is it to be a Sufi? And then I'll ask you the connection between that and music. But
The word actually it come from an Arabic word.
uh-huh.
The Arabic word Safa,
Safa.
Safa or Safi, and in English becomes Sufi. The meaning of Safa or Safi or Sufi is to be clear,
To be clear. Uh-huh.
clean.
Mm.
If you have a glass of water and the water is murky in the glass, you cannot see through.
Right.
If become pure and settle down, you could see through.
Uh-huh.
It is the same, the human body is the same, like the container.
Uh-huh.
And within that container, there is the spirit.
Mm.
And when you purify the body
Mm-hmm.
and you become in a state of complete harmony, then you are able to see your spirit
Mm.
within
Mm.
yourself.
And that's the objective of being a Sufi, is to purify the self, to see the spirit.
Well, purity is something should be common things for the entire people of the world. I
Mm.
mean, if you wash clothes to make
Yeah.
it clean, is a
Right.
purity.
So how do we
If you
pure?
cook food in a pure way and very good way, it become energy giving.
Mm.
So anything that is pure, it bring higher development to humanity.
So how do we purify the self in order for the spirit to come through? What's a technique for doing that in the Sufi tradition?
Uh, to be balanced.
How? How do we become balanced?
A human being made of centers.
Uh-huh. Energy center.
The take for instance the intellect is one of the centers.
Uh-huh.
The intellect, the emotion, the psychic, the physical, these all centers.
Yes.
What make a human being? These centers, when left alone, they go astray.
Mm.
Um, each go in different direction. With the emotion, a person get angry,
Right.
and he could kill someone without realizing what he's doing.
Right.
So these centers are powerful. With the intellect, also you could go deeper and deeper and deeper, and you forget the rest. And actually, this is known as the mistake of the intellect,
Mm.
by holding on the part and leaving the whole.
Mm.
And so
Mm.
all these centers are powerful by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The Sufi method to bring them together in unification and alignment when the alignment take place,
Mm.
there is a new center rise up.
Uh-huh.
The new center, consciousness and the spirit.
Uh-huh.
This is what bring perfection. So the emotion, instead of become anger and violence, it become creative. You divert it. You divert the anger to be something of use, to be creative, innovative, in art, in music, in dancing, and anything that is creative to make the life beautiful.
And those are also ways of creating the balance through the music, through the art, through the poetry. Is that the
Exactly.
technique of the Sufis?
When you develop and you bring the higher consciousness and the spirit, that the new center that cannot be brought through books or religion or philosophy
It cannot.
or lecture, not possible. It is no way to bring this about.
And how do
It
we...
have to bring it in alignment by engaging all the being within you to function and to progress in that way.
What is it that... How can we engage the whole being? With what technique?
The most important in there is how to bring the person to the moment, to be in the present.
To be here.
To be in the present, the pre-model state as God created people,
Uh-huh.
but it's been lost
Mm.
because of involving in material and technology and conflict and the problems, and so the people lost how to bring this power, and they become in a state of chaos
By-
all the time.
Yeah.
And nothing in there will bring about any development to them for peace and relaxation or contentment, because they are always in a hurry. And they are always in a hurry, but in reality, they're going nowhere and doing nothing.
Right.
But they think they are doing something.
Well, they're making
Yeah.
money, they're doing business, they're running around the streets of New York, thinking they're doing something, right.
Muhammad said, the day that pass without learning about the spirit is a wasted day.
Mm. So,
And also he said,
yes,
that which is a false trouble the heart.
that which is false
It
troubles
trouble
the heart. Mm.
The truth bring joyous tranquility.
Mm. Nice.
So when people in a state of negative, they're always in a state of problem.
So being a Sufi, living the Sufi way, is one means for people to take more peace into their lives. And
One of the method actually how to bring this about is the power of concentration.
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 In what sense?
Because the opposite of concentration, scatterness.
So,
When the people lose their mind and they don't function right, they are scattered.
so what do you use to concentrate your mind?
To focus on a thought,
One thought.
to focus on a movement, on dancing, on music, on exercise, to put your mind in what you are doing. If you do that, you learn how to focus and you train the self to be in much more depth and to be able to handle any situation.
So that's the connection between Sufism and music and dance and drumming.
Sure.
It's the inner practice of training the mind. And
To exist in the time you are.
to exist in the
And
present.
To use the time in your hand and not to let the time use you. If you work, if you are in the moment, the time change.
Uh-huh.
And this is something people don't know. But it is a reality and it is a fact that you could stop the time.
You can stop time.
You could stop the time, you could expand the time, you could make the time leisure. You could make the time your friend. You could go inside the time
Uh-huh.
and the time will entertain you. In the ordinary way, when people in a hurry and watching the time and the
Uh-huh.
coffee break and going home and all of that, they are opposing the time and fighting the time,
Uh-huh.
and the time slap them all the time and make them fall on their faces. And they never have time and always running in a hurry
Yeah.
and getting nowhere.
Yes.
But there is a way where you make the time work for you.
Yeah.
And that is done in the Sufi method, where you feel in leisure, you know, the time become a garden around you,
Uh-huh.
and it open. In fact, you become very drunk.
With time, with the
With the energy, you see, one of the method of the Sufi is
Mhm.
called al-sukr.
Mhm.
It means drunkenness.
Mm.
And there is two methods, one called al-sahu. It means wakefulness, and one al-sukr. Al-sukr, where you become intoxicated to arrive to what you want.
Uh-huh.
Al-sahu, the wakefulness state, it is much more harder and much more difficult. But al-sukr is easy to get in. You become very drunk, then you become very drunk and very sober in the same time. So drunkenness and sobriety, when meet together, you fall in an ecstasy.
Like I was experiencing with the bells, it was
Sure.
a drunkenness in a sense.
So when you are in an ecstasy, you fall in the moment.
Uh-huh.
When you are in the moment, the spirit there.
Uh-huh.
Wherever there is spirit, there is God. So God, the spirit, and the moment is one.
Mm.
And when you get in it, so you become in the house of God.
Mm.
And God will entertain you.
And that's why the Sufis and the Muslims said, La ilaha illallah.
La ilaha illallah.
Right.
That is connected with the al-tawheed, it means the unity.
The unity of that feeling of oneness with God and oneself. And you said the other method was more difficult. And what does that entail?
Is a training that is rigid.
Uh-huh.
I don't follow that in here in my teaching in the Western countries, because that method is very easy to get the people in and to be able to change them. And this method, the drunkenness method, doesn't mean you're drinking liquor like what everyone do. It is a cosmic
Yes.
energy that is the extract of the power of the universe. And it has power of healing in it.
Mm.
And when you do that, you become very drunk.
Mm.
And when this happening, it puts you in a state of wakeful state.
Yes.
There is two states. One is forgetful state,
Yes.
and that is the natural way of all the people in the world. They are in a forgetful state. They don't know who they are.
Right.
They don't know what they are doing, and they cannot communicate right. They're always puzzled. They're always thinking about gain and what to do. But when become in the wakeful state, you become attuned to yourself. You know who you are. In the wakeful state, it is not possible to make things wrong, because the spirit in there, and the spirit will not recognize anything negative or wrong. So you always become awake, alive, and the spirit with you. And you become creative, innovative, and everything's come the way you want. In that way, actually, you don't think, because the thinking is done with the power of the spirit in the heart. You get out of the intellect.
Yeah.
The intellect is connected with the past and with the future,
Right.
never with the present. No way is the past and the future, and the intellect is connected with anxiety, tension, ego, and anger. And that is the cause of the problem with people to do all the wrong things, and also with nations. The
Yes.
wars, the conflict, killing each other, come from that conflict in the intellect,
Yes.
because the ego stir them and make them do all the wrong things.
So you have retreats and you come to New York a lot, and people can spend time practicing being in that ecstatic state with you. So it's maybe there's some information we can give how to how to contact you, or should we could give that out?
Yeah, sure. You have it in here. And
Well, in New York, you can call 212-228-2459, and you can find out about when Adnan's coming and his summer retreat programs. I want to ask you about Sufism is the inner tradition of Islam. It's the mystical part of the Muslim religion. Some people say it even predates Muhammad. Is that true? Is that
well, Sufism exists in the world as long as there's a humanity.
as long as
You
there has
might
been?
say you start with Adam and Eve time.
Mm.
And this is the questions in the mind of people.
Uh-huh.
Who we are, where we come from, what we're doing, where we are going, what is God, what is the universe.
Mm.
These are the main things that a human being should be confronted with.
Mm-hmm.
It is not how many dollars you have to make in a shop,
Right.
in a corner for 40 years in there working,
Mm-hmm.
and then you die and finish.
Right.
So the balance have to be to be brought in the system of material to balance it.
Mm-hmm.
It is important that people work on the shape while they are working in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It is responsibility to be in this world, to work and make money and to grow and make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also another responsibility to work on the development of the self.
Right.
So these two have to work together.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot just put all your time on working and forget your own self. Or you cannot put the time all on the development of the inner self and forgetting the world. These things have to be together.
Yes.
To be in the world, but not of it.
Right.
To live in the world, to use the material. The material is there for a human being to be used. God created the material before a human being. And it is for the people to use it, but not to abuse it.
Mm-hmm.
If they use it properly, then everything is beautiful. If they abuse it, then they do wrong things to the creation.
So all the great prophets were Sufis, you're saying?
Of course.
But what is the relationship between Islam and Sufism? What's their inner connection?
All the messages of the Prophet, peace and freedom.
Mm.
And Islam, the name Islam, it means peace.
Uh-huh.
And since the beginning there was many prophets
Yes.
that came. Actually was 120,000 prophet came in
120,000
religion.
before Muhammad.
Sure,
Uh-huh. 120,000 prophets.
right.
Uh-huh.
And all their messages, peace and love.
Yes.
And but then with Islam, when Islam come, it became the combination all of these religion combined together.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sufi is a system of evolution. Anyone will follow it, will be able to achieve what they want within one life.
In one life.
Sure. And it is part of Islam. Islam differs than other religions.
Mm-hmm.
It is a religion of a way of life.
Mm.
Everything from birth to death.
Uh-huh.
Everything is calculated what to do and how to be in the right direction and not to fall away from doing the right
That's what
thing.
Islam is.
Sure.
But Sufism is the practice.
Sufism is the inner power
Uh-huh.
of Islam or any other religion.
Uh-huh.
And it is the strength and the power that you go in depth, the practicality. Any religion actually like law and order for the people.
Religion,
not to do the wrong thing.
The religion is about the law and order.
All the religion, law and order.
All religions, yes.
The law from God for the people
Yes.
to do the right thing, not to do the wrong things.
Yes.
But with the Sufi is how to bring the practicality of the evolution of humanity.
It goes
How
beyond
to
law
grow.
and order.
Sure.
The mystical traditions.
And it is meant in the religion of Islam to do so. ولا يغير الله ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. God will not change people till they change themselves. If you do not start do something, you don't expect to grow or change. So you have to do something, and then God will come and give you push, and He'll be behind you all the time.
Thank you. We're just about running out of time for this show. Maybe we can end with a little drumming. We've been talking to Adnan Sahan, and we're going to be doing more shows with him, but we'll end with just some little meditative drumming here. So, whenever you're ready, we'll just...
This is called Middle Eastern drum.
and
Do some rhythm and give you an idea what to do.
great.